everyone, and this is Didi again. This is Dawn Daybreaker of the King of Pentacles, and I would like to welcome you to our new video, which is titled PC Fortune Telling or Playing Cards Fortune Telling. So as I promised in our previous video, in our introductory video, that we will be sharing with you the tips of how to become playing cards fortune teller. Okay, so like everybody can buy their playing cards, and it's very cheap, and you can straight away practice it. All right, so for this video we will start with the scary cards in the minor arcana or arcana. So here we have the Ace of Spades. Okay, the Ace of Spades or the Ace of Sword in the tarot card. So when you have the Ace of Spades, they say, okay, something bad, the beginning of a very challenging thing coming into your life. You need to be careful with the things that you are starting, because you may end up either having an enemy or an enemy coming into your life, or because you may end up, if you're starting on something and you may offend the wrong person, be careful with your words. So if you're starting a project, or if you're starting an endeavor, so you have to look at your words, because you might offend some people. And although that is the case, there is a possibility in that of incurring that particular event. But in the tarot, this is the card of strength in adversity. So what do we mean by strength in adversity? It means that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Okay, literally it means that you will find the strength within you to continue to persevere, being strong, being very clear in your mind as to your intentions, okay, and being very analytical, because an analytical person, you can't possibly be offended by anything if you are an analytical person. Why? Because you know that when a person says something, you need to analyze first before reacting. All right. So this is a very good card actually, because this will empower you to look at the things in your life. Are you being provoked for a reason, or somebody is literally deliberately provoking you? And if this person is provoking you, so what? It doesn't really matter, as long as you get to become focused on one thing only, and you don't have to care with the opinions of other people about you, because after all, their opinions about you, it's their opinion. That's their business. It's not your business. So whatever opinion they may have about you, that's their business. Remember, it's not your business. Okay, so with the Ace of Spades, this is a very good card. For example, if you are writing something, if you're beginning something, if you are writing, for example, a journal, or if you're writing your thesis, or if you're writing, if you have a writing project, this is a very good card actually, because it means that you will be quite focused, and in spite of different obstacles, you'll be able to overcome them. Also, in medical readings, the Ace of Sword is of course a little bit challenging. It means that there's a possibility of either wounds or minor surgery, or some bodily problems or health problems that you may not have anticipated, that suddenly came down and happened out of the blue. Because after all, the spades, the symbol of air, and air is literally, or swords in the tarot, is unpredictable. One moment everything is good and fine, the next it's something. And look at the other cards, of course, in our upcoming videos, in the spreads, how to do that properly. Okay, the card combinations, as well as the position where this card will appear, okay, or will be laid down. All right, so that is the Ace of Spades. Next, we have the Two of Spades. So the Two of Spades, or the Two of Swords in the tarot, is literally saying, okay, you want to say something, but you can't, because you may end up either offending someone, or that you just need to keep the peace, right? You don't want to stir things up. You don't want to, rock the boat or rock the house, so to speak. So you just have to keep the peace. However, if you have this card, it's telling you that if you're angry, do not post your words, your comments in Facebook and send text messages. You may regret it. Okay, so you may be involved in the war of words with that. So it's better for you to keep your thoughts to yourself. All right. Okay, and really just put it in a journal if you cannot handle it. But the two of spades here is basically telling you that there might be a problem with partnership, because 2 is also partnership and balance. So you need to look at which area of your life you need to balance, or you need to prioritize, or you need to be more considerate about. Okay, especially with your words, whether written or verbal. Next, you have the 3 of spades, or the 3 of swords. So again, you have 2 spades upright and 1 downward. So what does it mean? There's a possibility of having a misunderstanding with the other groups of people. Maybe other people will say something bad about you, or you may think that these people are not doing things that are good for you. So the 3 of spades here is basically telling you need to be ready for the possibility of disappointment, also the possibility of jealousy. If you are in a relationship and you draw this card, the 3 of spades is telling you, okay, is your jealousy founded? Is there a basis for being jealous or for being heartbroken? Maybe the other person has another priority, or the family is pressuring, because 2 here is a symbol of always partnering with other people, or the opinion of other people. And since a spade or swords deal with air or communication, so maybe they said those things, or they've done those things because they don't want to go against the popular opinion of their friends, their family, or that they feel that they need to conform, and so they may say or do something that you may not have expected it, and you may end up either hurt or heartbroken. But it's okay, because after all, you will learn something from it and you will grow. Okay, so the 3 of spades is the card. Even in the tarot, it is a card of the heartbroken card, or the what you would call this, the emotionally sufferers card. But it's okay, after that it will pass, right? So next we have the 4 of spades. So the 4 of spades, or the 4 of swords in the tarot, is literally telling us to, okay, you need to pay attention to where you have invested your energy. If you have been working on a project, or if you have been exposed to a lot of things, you need to take time out. You need to rest. 4 is stability, and air is never stable. Look at that. I mean, earlier when I started the video, there was hardly any air moving around. But now, as of this time, at 4 o'clock, it's already 4 o'clock. Okay. At 4:20, here in the Philippines in the afternoon, here, suddenly the air is moving. So basically it's like that. It's very difficult to make the air stand still. So what does it mean? So air is all about words, and also the mind. Okay? All is mind. The air is the mind. Ideas is also spade. It's also the mind. So basically it's telling you that, okay, stop thinking too much. You need to stop. You need to take a breather. You need to meditate. You need to rest. Okay, you're doing things too much. You need to rest. If you don't, you will fall ill. Okay, so what kind of illness is this? So you need to look at the final card or the surrounding cards to see the possibility of whatever kind of illness will this be. So basically, this is the card of stress. Too much going on in the mind and in the emotion. So you need to take a breather and then retreat to the place or the situation where you may feel there is stability there. Could be a person, it could be a relationship where you may feel stable, you may feel safe and secure. Okay? There's nothing wrong with retreating, as long as it's only a strategy for you to get your strength back and fight for another day. So this is the Four of Swords. So now we go to the Five of Spades. So as we can see in the symbolism, we have 3 spades that are upright and 2 that are reversed. As I've said earlier that the spades are all about swords in the tarot card, and the suit of the tarot card, and the sword or the spade is a symbol of air. Air is communication, whether written or verbal. It's all about the energy of the mind, of focus. Okay, so since we have the 5 of spades here, basically it's telling us that we need to be quite unemotional, or leave our emotions out of it. Okay, we need to leave our emotions out of something. We should not actually, not we don't have, but we should not involve our emotions at something. When we're discussing something which is very emotional, we need to become emotionally detached. Okay, because the 3 here, the 3 of spades here, 3 is a symbol of group mind, group cooperation, or cooperating with other people, for example, or socializing. So you need to look at your words, in your whether things that you have said or the words that you have written. You need to leave your emotions out of it, okay, and be as objective as possible. Because the 5 of spades is actually not a good card, because it's also the card of manipulation, which means there's a possibility of either the people will be manipulating you or you manipulating them, okay, using the power of words. So here there's a possibility of misunderstanding once the other person realizes that you have just manipulated them, or you will realize sometime that all along you have been manipulated. So we have 2 of spades here being downwards. Okay, so now remember that the spades is a symbol of air and it's pointing downwards. So it's also a symbol of underground communication, things that you do not know, things that literally is under the table or under the house. So you need to be aware that when you speak with some people, or a number of people, for example, or even a relationship, and you get this card, okay, so there's a possibility of, okay, there are certain things that are either not being said outright, or things that are being deliberately hidden or not being included. Also, the 5 of spades is, or the 5 of swords in the tarot, the 5 of spades here is a card of, again, defeat. All right, being defeated by the words of others. But it's okay, because even though we will be defeated by them, or we may feel we have been defeated by them, by a person or by a group of people, for example, it's okay, because not every day is a loss and not every day is a win. That is life. We win, we lose, but every time we lose, we learn something, and then we rise higher and stronger. Okay, so again, even though this is a very negative card in a sense of communication, it's okay, we will still learn something of value. All right, so next card. The next is the 6 of spades. Right, so the 6 of spades here, again, it's upright. There are 4 spades upright and there are 2 reverse. Okay, so what does it mean? Okay, when we have the 6, okay, so literally it means part of our life are already stable. We have created stable relationships, because 4 is the number of stability. Through our words, we were able to stabilize our connections with people, our endeavors, our businesses, for example, especially when you deal with communication. But we have to realize that we need to move forwards. So what do we mean by that? It means that even though you're already familiar, you're already stable in your environment, even though you're already familiar with what you know, but when you get this card, it means the card is telling you it's now time for you to explore your options. It's now time to explore what other options are open for you, what you need to learn in order for you to get out of your situation, or in order for you to get out of a certain environment or locality where you grew up, or where you're quite stable, but things are not changing for you. When you draw this card, there's a possibility of traveling, because the 4 there plus the 2 here is telling you that you need to consider the possibility of travel. You may also hear, because swords or spades is connected with air, also connected with communication. So basically it means that there is a possibility of communication coming in. Somebody from afar may contact you. It could be a person that you know, it could be an acquaintance that you know, but this person has a message for you, so you need to attend to this person, you need to attend to the message, because there's a possibility that it will become the next stage in your life. Alright, so this is the 6 of Spades. Next, we have the 7 of Spades. Right. So, heads up, everyone. This is a card of the liar. Okay, the lying card. Even in the tarot, the 7 of Swords, or the 7. This is the 7 of Swords in the tarot. This is the card of the thief, of someone doing totally unexpected things. All right, so now let's look here in playing cards, fortune telling. We have 5 spades upright, and we have 2 spades reversed. So again, 5 is the card of disruption. So when you're communicating, and if you ask for if a person, what is the nature of this person? If this person a trustworthy person, and you get this card as a last card, this card may say, okay, yes, there's a possibility of being trustworthy, but do not ever put all your hopes into this person, because there is a possibility that this person may disappoint you. Now, not necessarily mean that this person is a total liar. Maybe it means there's a possibility that this person, the reason why that this person is lying or is about to lie to you, is because this person is being forced by other things, and that this person has to rethink his or her option. You know, sometimes we need to be quite compassionate and quite to be understanding with people in our lives. So this card may say there's a possibility that yes, there might be some unexpected changes. You may, or that you yourself may go through or may do things that are not so good, in a sense that you need to change your tactics, you need to change the way you communicate, and you need to change your opinions, you need to change your goals, you need to change your target, okay? Because either it's not possible, or that it's not good for you, it's not safe for you yet. That's why you need to change suddenly, 100%, okay? The card of sudden changes. Now 7 is an odd number card. So again, it's a card of being self-sufficient, having not a partner, okay? So this 7 is not concerned of it doesn't concern itself with having harmony. It's only concerned with, you know, moving forward in life and having a lot of new opportunities open. So if some people would say certain things to us, and then they may end up disappointing us some days, weeks, months, or even years that we have known them, then maybe because this person has been forced, or this person has been pressured to do something, because something has disrupted the life of this person, and that this person has to evolve, to change in order to survive. Because, for example, if this happened to you and suddenly an unexpected event happened to you, and you need to change your opinions, you need to change your your belief, your stance about certain matters, and it concerns about your personal survival. If not your personal reputation, then your personal survival, your very survival, okay, your bodily health, for example. I think no one is foolish enough to really stand on something because they're gonna get killed, for example, for what they have to believe in. So they need to change with their belief. They need to do something different. So it's a survival mechanism. So the Seven of Swords, although a very, very bad card in a sense, if this person can be trusted or not, then you need to understand also that, okay, there's a reason for everything. So that is the Seven of Spades. Next, we have the Eight of Spades. Right. So here in the Eight of Spades, we have 5 upright and 3 reversed. Okay. So here, literally, so since these are all swords, we have 1 sword in the middle, but we have 3 below. Literally, it's telling us, okay, what have we enclosed ourselves into? So if it's all swords, okay, what are you protecting? Why can't you move forward? Because 8 is power, 8 is energy. So is the reason why you're finding it hard to move forward because you're always looking at your options, or that you're always looking after what you have built on already? But if the things that you have built on, your projects, your businesses, your relationships, if they only serve to hold you back, if you cannot move forward, question is that worth living a life? Because we are here for one reason on earth, and that is to learn and to evolve and to change. There is nothing permanent in this world. Nothing. So everything changes all the time. Everything changes. So when we draw the 8 of swords, the 8 of spades here upright, I place a marker here. What part of your life you feel unable to move forward? What part of your life or department of your life, is it in relationship, finances, business, family, home, close personal connection, what do you call that, your money and finances, the things in which you have invested in, for example, or in your groups of friends, or in your career? What area of your life have you invested so much that you can no longer move? It's like your hands and feet are tied. They're tied. Okay, you can't move forward because you have enclosed yourself. If you're gonna look at the 5 spades there, 1 is in the middle. So just imagine if these are swords, there are 4 swords in the 4 corners and 1 sword in the middle. So the possibility of you there in the middle, you are alone. You have built your foundation, you have built your defenses in the 4, but there are 3 others beckoning you. Step outside, step outside, step out of your comfort zone, step outside of your comfort zone. It's time to move forward, move past it. Okay, so this is also the card of freedom, but only if you get to discover what binds you, what holds you down. Because this is the card before being freed. This is the card of being tied up and tied down. Okay, of course, if it's reversed like that, then it means freedom. Okay, but we only do upright reading. Okay, we marked here the upright card. Okay, next we have the 9 of spades or the 9 of swords in the tarot. Again, there are 4 upright and 4 reversed with 1 in the middle of them. So 9 is the highest number. It's the culmination. So the 9 with the swords, the 9 of swords, is all about the highest level of mental activity. If you are worried, you're very, very worried. If you are mentally excited, you are so excited that you can't sleep properly. You can't get it out of your head. Okay? You feel that things are equally things are equally stable. for you, and yet either you find that there is no satisfaction, or that you find that the things that you own or the things that you have, you're thinking too much. You'll be thinking a lot. Okay? So this is actually the card of the warrior. Not warrior as in, a hero or like a samurai or something. The one with the sword and all such stuff. But warrior in the sense that you worry. You worry or you think too much of a lot of things at the same time, to the point where you become tortured, either depressed. By the way, this is also the depression card, okay? Because literally this this one here can't move forward. Look at that. Only single spade, and they are equally divided. There are 4 upright and then 4 reversed. This one, this person or situation here can't move at all, but tortured with so many things. This is what I want to do. A list of a lot of things, and yet at the same time, I can't do them because of this. So they're equally well balanced, both the possibilities, the solutions, as well as the problems. Okay, so this is the card of the warrior. Not warrior as in like the samurai king or something, but a person who is either very much depressed or is thinking a lot of things very much to the point that this person is full of fears and anxiety. Okay, so examine where you are, and if it's really true, and if it's really if it has a basis on reality. Don't just worry needlessly. Okay, so journal, write things down. So that is the 9 of spades. Next, we have the 10 of spades. Now, in the tarot, this is the 10 of swords, upright, with the marker there. Traditionally, very, very unfortunate card. Because the 10 of swords is the card of great defeat. Alright. But remember, 10 is always the number of transition. It's about to change. Now let's look at the symbology. There are 2. One is upright, one is reversed. And then again, 4 around it, reversed, and 4 upright. So what does it mean? It means for every loss, there is equally, for every loss, there is an equal opportunity. There is an equal gain. When you lose something, you gain something. When you gain something, naturally you will lose something. So it's okay. Even if you feel that you have lost a part of your life when it comes to relationship, you have given so much of your life to a person, or to a group of people, to a belief, to a business. It's okay. Don't worry. Accept it. Let it go. Realize that a new dawn is beginning for you. Okay? So even though they are completely, because remember that 5 is the number of change. The 5 is the number of disruption. Why? Because it disrupts us from being stale, from being solidly entrenched to the point that we cannot move anymore. 5 gives us an opportunity to move forward and to be filled with new opportunities. So here we have 2 upright and 2 reverse, which means these events in our lives are actually more of a teaching event, it's actually a spiritual card. It's a very spiritual card actually, because although this is a card of death, and death is something to be feared, it means something is dying. It could be a person, it could be an event, or it could be a relationship, it could be an opportunity. But it's okay, because with death or with ending comes a new beginning. Okay, and that is the 10 of spades. Next, we have the Jack of Spades. It's upright. Now, when we have the Jack of Spades, again, so we have the court cards, and we have the Queen of Spades, and we have the King of Spades. So these are all the different aspects or the different phases of the air different aspects or different gradations or different levels of an air person. So what are the air signs? The air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Thank you. All right. So when we have Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, they are all air signs, right? So with the air signs comes all about communication. However, since it's air, you can expect sympathy for these people. So the Jack is a person, it could be a young person, it could be male, it could be female, all right? Where this person may not be mindful of what he or she will say, okay? This person may not care whether you get hurt by the words of this person, as long as this person will get to say what he or she needs to say. This person can also become quite, forceful, energetic. Now, with the Queen of Spades, with the Queen of Swords here, literally we are being told here that this woman, this mature woman, can be quite very domineering. Okay, so when they are very domineering, this woman can be quite domineering. It means that very principled person. You know that there is a rule. Okay, this is my rule. You need to follow this rule. If not, something is gonna happen, and I need to enforce this. So that is the Queen of Spades or the Queen of Swords. Okay, so this card can also be a person who suffered loneliness, a woman who suffered loneliness or great, tribulations and trials, but was able to survive it. And then the King of Swords is the boss, the captain, the commander. Okay, so he is either a lawyer or a military person or a doctor who uses the power of the words or uses surgical instruments. Okay, so they are all of the air signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So these are all very intellectual. These are all very not too much into feelings, into emotion, but can be very stubborn, but can be very forceful with their belief. Okay, so those are the court cards of the Spade or the air suit.